In the Senate chambers last night, a vote on waterboarding sent Senator John McCain's Straight Talk Express hydroplaning sharply smack into John McCain. Our fourth story in the countdown tonight, a McCain milestone, his vote protecting the CIA's ability to torture suspects. At issue, a bill that would make every American interrogator follow the Army Field Manual, which just happens to ban waterboarding. McCain voted against the ban last night, claiming waterboarding is already illegal, a claim obviously not binding on this White House, which promises to veto this bill. And while the FBI and Pentagon already abide by the Army Field Manual, in a statement today, McCain maintained he still opposes waterboarding. But in other interrogation techniques, he wants the CIA to have more latitude than the Army Field Manual affords, a position putting him in stark conflict with himself.
I just came back from visiting a prison in Iraq. The Army general there said that the techniques under the Army Field Manual are working and working effectively, and he didn't think they need to do anything else. My friends, this is what America is all about. This is a defining issue.
Until you get the nomination. Senator McCain's reversal yesterday coming just hours after the conservative GOP House leadership, in the Washington Post phrase, unexpectedly emerged from a secret meeting with McCain and endorsed him. Unexpectedly emerged or unexpectedly endorsed him. This is one day after declaring their intention to remain neutral in the race for the nomination. With us tonight on this, MSNBC political analyst Rachel Maddow, whose program airs weeknights on Air America Radio. Hello, Rachel.
Hi, Keith.
So he was against waterboarding before he was for it. I mean, by what tortured explanation is this not a vote for waterboarding?
The White House admits, as of this month, to authorizing waterboarding, and they say that they authorized it because the way they look at the law, they're allowed to do that. It's legal. The White, yeah, right. But that's what the White House said. They said the way we interpreted the law, we thought it was legal, and we're happy that we did it, and it was very useful. So Congress has therefore passed something which says, actually, clearly, plainly, obviously, this is illegal. If you didn't think it was illegal before, let us make it more obvious for you. And that's what John McCain voted against. So in context and logically, it is a vote for waterboarding because the White House has used this legal explanation, this legal cutthroat explanation, in order to justify what they admit to have having already done.
All right. So this is the latest McCain stance on this. He said he would prefer Mr. Bush simply to say that waterboarding is illegal. I would prefer Mr. Bush to simply say, I'm resigning. What is his point in this? What does this mean? Oh, I'd like Mr. Bush. How does that impact what's going to happen?
I think we're in one of those situations. It's like looking at the exit polls out of Virginia. It would have made sense to do that if it was a close race, but when Barack Obama won as big as he did, he won every demographic and those exit polls became meaningless. Same thing with his John McCain decision. This decision is so plainly a political decision. This is John McCain reversing himself not only in terms of being for waterboarding now, but the grounds on which he is for waterboarding. I mean, he's the guy who made the argument that the Army Field Manual was sufficient. The only thing we need to understand about this is that John McCain had a sudden and otherwise inexplicable change of heart since November, a change of heart that brings him in line with what appears to be the Republican strategy for the general election this year, which is to pick deliberately provocative, deliberately controversial fights on the issues that they want this election to be about. They want the election to be about war and torture and Guantanamo. So they're picking fights on those issues, even though they know a lot of Americans disagree with them on these issues. They're picking fights on those issues, so those will be the things we're talking about around the election because they think that'll help Republicans.
Did they buy him with the promise of endorsements, such as the thing out of the Senate, or even Mitt Romney endorsing him today, or the other way around? Did he buy those endorsements by changing this position? Is it that naked and obtuse? I don't think anybody on the Republican Party on either side is holding out for a particular policy. I think that it's a political strategy. It's not a principled strategy. It's a political strategy to make war and torture in Guantanamo the issues on which the election is decided. And so John McCain just got in line on those issues. We all thought he had a principled stance on torture. Turns out he doesn't. He's taking the political stance instead, and what remains to be seen is whether their strategy will work. Yeah, because there is one problem with changing your opinion on something when you made such a strong statement about it. This might be considered flip-flopping, to coin a phrase. Right. Will it be? Is this something that, everybody in Obama headquarters and Clinton headquarters is writing down? It's flip-flopped, February 14th. Yes. I mean, there's no way around this. I mean, you just played the tape of him in November. That was late November, in which he was saying the Army Field Manual gives us the tools we need to interrogate, and it's a matter of American values that we don't torture.
And by the way, I no longer think that because now I have the nomination. I mean, there's never, he's had a lot of flip-flops in his career. This is perhaps the most naked.
Now, he did say, my friends, in that soundbite from November, so you know that's what he really meant, because that's when he says that means he's sincere. Rachel Maddow of Air America and MSNBC, great thanks. Good to see you.
Thank you, Keith.